Hello everyone, today we have part 5 of the Honda S800 update and we have a lot of cool stuff to share with you. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, here in front of us we have our thumbnail picture of the hardware. If you look at all this nice and shiny gold hardware, this is a process that we just did to the hardware that belongs to this 1968 Honda S800. Now the process to resync, and zinc I think is Z-I-N-C, is a process that is a little bit intricate, but essentially what it does is it puts back an important coating that protects bolts, washers, and nuts. So essentially a lot of this hardware did come like this from the factory. Now if you look at this, this is so cool. I kind of feel like a pirate, like look at my gold. But all of this came out really well, but we did learn something. It's not very straightforward. So some of the hardware was in good condition, like it was clean. It was probably in an area that didn't, have a lot of dirt or a lot of traffic or anything like that. But there was some hardware that was dirty, had oil, had grease. And when we spoke with Precision Metal Finishing in Grand Junction, this is our first time doing this. They just told us to bring in the hardware and they'll take care of it. So we assumed, which isn't always good, that essentially it would all come out like a powder coating process where they break it down, clean it, and do it all for you, and then they paint it. Well, this company, and I'm thinking maybe industry standard, they don't do that. So however you bring hardware to them is essentially how they're just going to recoat it. They're not going to go through a whole cleaning process. They're not going to take the dirt off with the oil. Essentially if you bring them a bolt with oil and dirt, they're just going to put it through some chemical process, and hopefully that takes some of that off, but most of the time it's not going to. And a good example is like some of the stuff didn't get coated because it was pretty rusted or dirty, and that's understandable. But next time that we take hardware to them, we're gonna prep it ourselves. We're gonna take it to a hot tank, we're gonna scrub it down, we're gonna use whatever we can just to clean it up. So whenever we take it to them, we did the prep work, and then they just do the coating rezinking process. Now I thought they were gonna do that, but we learned, lesson learned. But this is exciting because now we have the hardware, and this is really cool because it's been a process. We got our parts catalog, we have our hardware, so now we can actually start installing stuff. So in this video, this is gonna be the inaugural first bolt installment or installation. So go ahead, follow me over, and let's go install our first few bolts. All right, everyone. We're gonna be filming the first few bolts. I already did one off camera, but this is gonna be our first one on camera. Here we go, guys. All right, our first bolt hand tightened, woohoo! And we have some more parts to show you that came back from ASF Machine here in Grand Junction, Colorado, and they did an amazing job. Guys, when I gave this to them, this was a hot mess, and they cleaned this up. They were even nice enough to try to remove some dents that it came with, and because this had a lot more dents, but they put the extra time to make this look a lot better, and I really appreciate it. So what happens inside here goes the air filter, and this attaches to the individual throttle bodies, and essentially it's the intake assembly. So they also did the same thing to this. They actually, I believe they vapor blasted this, which is great. And the only note that they said is there's a tiny bit of pitting inside these bores, but it just comes with the territory of casting and production of parts back in the 1960s. Nothing that's going to affect anything because this is just an intake, and we're talking about minor defects. But this looks great, and I'm really excited because when we put this engine together, we're literally going to be putting back pieces that have been cleaned, vapor blasted, and looked over, and that's what we're going to want. All right, Elisa's working on the wall in the background, but we're gonna be taking apart this assembly the headlight assembly so we can go get it powder coated because it is pretty old. All right. So luckily this is off. On the other one, we had to remove that. But we got a little tiny bit of a, like a spring here. So let's go ahead and take that off. All right. And then right here, if you guys could see, we got some screws right here, and then we got 2 screws right there. So we're gonna go ahead and remove those. All right, looks like that is stuck on there. So I got some PB Blaster. I'm gonna just put some on there. There we go. Stuff smells pretty bad. And it looks like this headlight assembly was already, the other one was intact, but it looks like this one, somebody already started to take it apart because the screws are missing here. And then let me show you guys what I'm doing over here. We're gonna remove this part here, but we're actually gonna go out with it. Let me see if I can. I already did it with the other one, so I know it comes out. Just like that. And then we're gonna bring this out right here. And then we have a screw here. Let's see if this one will come out without having to. Ugh. That one's also a little stuck. Let's PB blast that one as well. Then we got a screw up here or a bolt up here. See if this one looks like it's gonna come out. All right, we got that one out. So we're gonna let the PB Blaster work on this one, and then after that, this thing will be pretty much ready to rock out. Okay, we're gonna be showing you what we found out here. So these empty holes, a screw, a washer, and a screw cap go on top of them. And the crazy part is that I don't have them. I did see one, it's all rusted. But I was thinking a screw, a bolt, and a bolt cap or screw cap is pretty heavy. So I found these little clips that I had extra left over from another project, and they go right in there. And they look good, they weigh less, and they're way less expensive. And I think it's a pretty cool alternative. But some of the things that wasn't missing was the rubber seals and some trim pieces. So we have those, but it brings a true meaning to 1960s rubber. It's hard and it's no good. So I ordered a universal one from Amazon and I just started to put it on there, but I wanted you guys to see the process. Don't worry about that. We're gonna also install that whenever I get some of my latches here. But essentially the way this works, and let me show you guys, is you're putting the trip pieces in there, and this has like a piece of like metal or aluminum. I think you could see it right here. And what that does is it just gives it a sturdy, conforming attachment to the trim piece. So I honestly don't know if this is gonna work because this is universal. So it's just one of those things we're gonna try it out and see if it works. Okay, so we installed it all the way around. And the cool thing is that it went on there nicely, but this portion of it is sticking out a little more than we want. Instead of calling this like no good, I'm almost wondering if we should just cut this a little bit because let's show you real quickly. It closes fine. Around these seams, you don't see it, but when you hypothetically locking it down, it kind of bulges out here. I was hoping that would get pushed down, but it doesn't. I'm thinking before we take this off and return it, I'm thinking we cut it and see if that helps. Okay, we cut it and fits in there a little bit better. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the other side and fit it, but I think that's gonna work out. So it's small stuff like this that it's gonna make it work. Okay. And that is it for all our updates. We have some really cool plans coming up. Now that we can install stuff, I'm gonna be starting to add little parts here and there, which is exciting, and I'm super pumped up. Well guys, you stay tuned. If you have any questions or comments, or if you have any recommendations, I always welcome it. I always appreciate everybody's reached out and offered help. Thank you so much, I really mean that. And thank you for watching the video. That's a way that you support the project as well. Thanks, take care, we will see you soon.